Would anyone like to come up for a story this morning? I know this story is actually a book, and you may want to see it on the screen. So if you want to grab a pillow and find a seat here, then you can either look at the book or you can look at the screens and see the story. I know that's your little sister. I told this story a long time ago. It was about 3 years ago. A long time ago. And I still have my look-through thing. Do you remember this? My look-through thing is pretty simple, but when I look through it, I only see a little bit of what's around me, instead of the whole thing. So it's really good for helping me to see more closely and pay more attention. I could even use it if there were bugs in here to look really closely at a bug. Sort of like a magnifying glass, except it doesn't magnify, it just makes one area really important. So that's the look-through thing, and that's the look-through thing I made because I read about it in this book called The Simple People. And so we're going to hear this story. Some of us for the first time and some of us will hear it again. The simple people lived under trees beside a clear blue spring. They sang songs and ate sweet fruit. The days were warm, the wind was soft, and life was simple. Sometimes Node made simple things with sticks and vines. He would hang the things in trees. The wind would blow through them, saying, "Oh, oh." One day, Node was looking through something he had made, just like I was doing, when Bog came up and asked, "What is that?" "It's just something to look through," answered Node. Bog took it. "That's nice," he said, "but do you expect me to hold it up the entire time I'm looking?" Node didn't expect anything of the sort. He was simply going to hang it from a tree. "What you need," said Bog, "are more sticks to hold it up." "More sticks?" said Node. "More sticks," said Bog. They both looked through the look-through thing held up by sticks. Pug walked over and watched them. "Those sticks are shaking and weak," said Pug. "These rocks will hold it steady and strong." Node didn't think it needed rocks or sticks, but Bog spoke up. "You're right, Pug, and more rocks will make it even stronger." "More rocks?" said Pug. "More rocks," said Bog. Other people began gathering rocks too. They sang as they worked. Soon everyone was gathering rocks. Everyone but Node. He didn't think they needed more rocks. He stood by his look-through and watched as the rock pile grew higher and longer. "It's a wall," declared Bog. No one had seen a wall before. The people were so pleased with it that they kept adding to it. Day after day, the wall grew. One day, Node noticed the people no longer sang as they worked. They were too tired. But they didn't stop. Bog had each of them doing a special job. Some were rock diggers, some were rock carriers, and others were rock stackers. If one person stopped, others would have to wait. Then the work would not get done. So Bog gave some people the job of making sure everybody else did their jobs. Node thought it was getting very complicated. Eventually, the wall became too long to carry rocks from one end to the other, so they curved it around in a big circle. One day, the ends met and the wall surrounded them. Pug asked Bog, "What shall we do now? We have plenty of room to build more walls," answered Bog. "More walls?" said Pug. "More walls," said Bog. Everyone began building walls inside the circular wall. Everyone but Node. He didn't think they needed more walls. He stood by his look-through and listened to the wind whisper, "Oh, oh." Soon there was no room to build more inside walls. Pug asked Bog, "What shall we do now?" Bog took a fruit tree and began building a roof. "We will need many more trees," he said. "More trees?" said Pug. "More trees," said Bog. It became dark inside the walls as everyone helped build the roof. Everyone but Node. He didn't think they needed a roof. He stood by his look-through and enjoyed the only bit of sunlight there was inside the wall. When the roof was finished, Pug asked Bog, "What now?" Bog went to the clear blue spring, made a batch of mud, and spread it on the rough rock wall. "We can make smooth walls. And if we mix up a lot more mud." "More mud?" asked Pug. "More mud," answered Bog. It was so dark that people built fires to see by as they made mud. Everyone helped spread the mud on the walls and ceiling. Everyone but Node. He didn't think the walls needed to be smooth. He didn't think the walls needed to be there at all. One day, Node was hungry and wandered away from his look-through. The walls made many bends and turns. Node asked where he could find some fruit, but everyone was too busy to answer him. Meanwhile, Pug found the sunny opening in the wall. He carefully patched it up and smoothed it over because that was his job. He went away looking for more places to patch. Node searched, but he found no fruit. His eyes began to hurt and he grew dizzy, breathing smoke from all the fires. He decided to return to his look-through for some fresh air. He walked and walked, but he couldn't find it. After hours of searching, he bumped into Pug, who was patching a little crack. "Pug, have you seen my look-through?" he asked. "I don't remember," Pug answered. "I haven't been feeling too well." He began to cough. Node went on searching, never knowing when it was day or night. He stumbled down one dark passageway after another. The people he passed were sick, and no one was working. All he could find to eat and drink was bitter moss growing on the walls and muddy water where the clear blue spring once flowed. He could barely remember the last time he had tasted a sweet fruit or sang a song or played in the sunlight. At last, too tired to walk any farther, Node leaned against a smooth wall to rest. He heard a whisper and looked around. It sounded familiar, but Node couldn't remember why. He looked at the wall and saw a tiny white crack. Putting his ear to the crack, he could hear the whisper clearly. "Oh, oh." Suddenly he remembered the wind and fresh air and sunlight. He took a rock and chipped away at the crack. A thin patch of mud covered the look-through he had made so long ago. As he chipped all the mud away, sunlight and wind rushed into the darkness. Node climbed out. He breathed fresh air and danced in the light. After a moment, he climbed back inside. One by one, he helped other people find the opening. They all climbed out. Everyone feasted on sweet fruits and sang happily for the first time since the wall had been started. The night was warm, the wind was soft, and life was simple once more. to build things. What do you think, Catherine?
Life is too simple.
Because life was too simple. Yeah, let's fill it up with a whole bunch of things to do. I wonder how Node felt when he couldn't find his look-through. Sad, yeah, he couldn't see any light.
Why would they trap themselves into a big hole?
Why would they trap themselves into a big hole or a big container or a big dark thing? It's weird.
No, I don't think I would like to do that.
I wonder why the wind was important. And wind makes you feel good. I wonder if they ever built another wall.
I don't think so. They probably used it as storage. Maybe they lived in here when the government came.
You think they use it as storage?
Yeah, I know, so hidden.
Yeah. We have buildings like that all over that are just for storage. Anyway, that's our story today. And we're going to sing a song.